Angela Corey. Okay, so I thought it had been, she deserved to be disbarred. And obviously, I'm not the only person in the world that thinks that. Some people who actually mean something actually thought that too. I can tell you who I am. She had something to do with it, Scott. Well, I did too. Let me tell you where I come in, and I have a little bit to do, a very tiny bit to do with Rick Scott, and that was I'm a volunteer for the Republican Party. I stopped volunteering, not for Rick. I did some volunteering recently for him. I did a little bit of walking door to door for him, and I've campaigned and helped Rick Scott ever since he started to become or run when he ran for governor of the state of Florida. Um, I jumped on his side and I was trying to tell people I didn't feel like it was personal. Like I just wanted to vote for Rick Scott instead of Bill McCollum. I didn't want to vote for Bill McCollum. Okay, just um, I'm sorry, if that was his goal or something. We all have different goals and things in life. Just lets us down left and right, doesn't it? It's just shit that you have to deal with, and I seen the frustration on McCollum over that, and it reminds me a lot of how they're um, dissing Donald Trump right now. So I wanted to maybe do a different video on that, but anyway, so um, made phone calls for him and Rubio. Um, I'm not so very happy with Marco Rubio. I am happy with Rick Scott's performance, and I think that he has done everything he said he was going to do, and I don't see where anybody can call him a liar. So as long as Rick Scott isn't a liar, he's got my vote. As long as he wants to remain the governor of the state, I will help support that. As long as he doesn't lie, and he hasn't. So, anyways, what Marco Rubio did though, let's make this real quick, is he came down to Orange Park, I believe, town hall, and he laughed at his constituents over Sheriff Arpaio. I seen the video, and he's was my senator or whatever, um, Clay County uh, senator. So I did phone calls for Marco Rubio, and I I don't want to say that I don't want to do any volunteer work, or I don't. I do. I just want to say that I'm disappointed in him and taking that shift towards Obama's birth certificate. If Obama's birth certificate is not there and he is not eligible to be the president, let's say just by our votes, because if we had been told that shit before the election came and we went out to vote and they processed their votes, I don't think that a lot of the things that they lied about Obama, Obama would not have come to pass or been the president. Maybe they might chalk it up in their head that he would have anyways, that they didn't need to lie, but that's all that they did is cockamamie lied. They lied to us left and right, and I don't appreciate uh, Marco Rubio coming down here and laughing at people who strongly believe that that SOB should not be in our White House. There's a big difference between a Democrat and a Republican, and we're going to get to that here in a minute. We're going to read a little bit of Angela Corey's um, Wikipedia, and then we're going to give you our perspective of how I believe that she trampled on the stand your ground law here. That is a law. So Angela Corey is supposed to be Republican, and she's gonna try to believe that she supports our rights. You know, um, this is a not the safest state in the world, right? So you want to take people's gun rights away more if they need a gun to protect themselves? And I don't want to get in the middle of somebody debating me gun control or gun rights when I staunchly support gun rights. I'm a gun rights advocate. I do not believe in some son of a bitch telling me that I don't have a right to pack, especially if I could possibly be gunned down by somebody. Not giving people the right to tote guns around and act like there's some Billy Badass or something about it. When I was a young child, I was raised in the Marine Corps. I had a, uh, I had a pellet gun pistol, and I was in NRA, and I took um, special courses and stuff to handle a firearm and how to handle a weapon. So I'm one type of person that could carry a weapon and probably not even know, that he's got one on him if I wanted to, but I don't because I happen to be the type of person that's a little bit more, uh, I would say, um, better at fighting with my hands. So if I ever do decide to get a firearm to protect myself and it comes down to me having to shoot somebody, I understand all the consequences of that, but I don't need somebody like Angela Corey to come along and make it, or even worse, if the media, for whatever, because the guy's black, so the media is going to have Angela Corey, who's supposed to be, check this out. I didn't know this. I thought because of the way that she had handled uh, this Trayvon Martin case that she was a Democrat. So I don't know how she got in the Republican Party and act like that. Um, allow um, Al Sharpton to come and use a black kid, and then let MSNBC or whoever the other pieces of garbage were go and what the excuse me. But okay, let's start from the beginning, from what we know here. Okay, what we know what we know is there was an altercation. So I'm still having kind of a hard time figuring out what the altercation was about, and I'm sick of people. I really, really want to know the story now. If you're gonna make it, even if it's gonna be in a small little thing in the paper, I don't care. I want you to at least ask the cops or somebody to at least ask the people what the fuck the fight was over. When the hell are you guys fighting about? Are you guys what's the deal? So um Martin, I believe, had a problem with Zimmerman for some reason that night in that moment. It might have been something leading up to that, but that was the night for Martin where he lost it. And being in a position that I'm in, I can understand, like, the man who was killed in Ferguson, the young black guy who tried to pull the cop's gun out of the thing, and then the cop shot his ass. He got killed. Um, I don't know if I can exactly relate to pulling a cop's gun and trying to kill a cop or something like that. It's pretty stupid. But I can understand that if the guy was less, um, he was acting criminally and he was breaking the law, he went to the store and just robbed the store. So that's why the cops were looking for the guy in Ferguson, the guy who Black Lives Matter or whatever came out about. And Trayvon Martin case or whatever. Well, all I'm saying is that these black guys, if they're losing it because they're smoking weed or there's something that they can't handle, maybe they're drinking or something. Maybe there's something that they're doing that's not good for them. It makes them act a little crazy because that's what it seemed like to me. How can you say that the guy in Ferguson or Trayvon was acting completely criminal, just attacking the people that they did like that? I think that there's a little bit more to it, and I think that it's psychiatry. Psychiatry is the answer. Was the answer for these black guys? These black guys needed some psychiatric help, and all their little friends are going around lying to the media, lying to the police, and lying to everybody else to try to make them think that these are innocent black guys just not flipping out, not doing anything wrong. You know, those guys are evil, and y'all need your head checked too. You need to go check into not check, maybe check into the insane bin, insane asylum, but you need to talk and consult to one of their psychiatric doctors and get help. You black people need help. You need to go see a damn fucking psychiatrist, okay? And as far as Angela Corey goes, I think that a little bit of humiliation is due, and I do believe in disbarring her because there was an altercation that went down for whatever the reason. I'd really like to know what it was. But Trayvon came up behind this uh, Zimmerman character, Mr. Zimmerman, came up from behind him. We went through this for months, right? So whatever Martin creeped up, excuse me, on Zimmerman from behind. So he had to duck. Martin ducked out and took a path around to come out from behind Zimmerman and confront him. And it's knowing that what's his name, dude, um, started the altercation and came up to George Zimmerman like that, it just makes you think that there's a good possibility. Probably Martin didn't know Zimmerman was packing. Probably didn't know. Maybe he did know, you know, because the guy went for Zimmerman's gun. So speaking of crazy black guys, but Martin's fingerprints were on the gun. Is that right? So we have all the evidence in the world that shows Zimmerman's face had been assaulted. He'd been assaulted. He had strangulation marks on his neck. So I can relate to um, being kind of stuck and put in an awkward position. But the authorities from where I'm from did that to me on purpose for whatever reason. My father is a retired Marine, served 22 years in the Marine Corps. So I think it's very disgraceful that that place did that to his son. Whenever his son was no different than anybody else, not a bad person, not a bad kid at all. And the cops in Roseburg, Oregon there are completely unprofessional and ain't worth a shit. You're not worth a shit as far as I'm concerned. But on the other hand, maybe it's because they're just dealing with the classic warfare, the stand your ground law, and other things that come into play. When I say classic warfare, I mean, well, in the South, you got what I didn't necessarily have where I'm from. We had where I'm from in Roseburg, Oregon is all white people like myself that live there. And um, when there's been a numerous amount of black people that live there, they know me and they were my friends. I had um, friends from, they were all my friends until um, I don't know if any of them don't look at me like their friend anymore, except probably Chris Ivy. Chris Ivy went to Fremont. Uh, Jason Feely, and all of us. We had like kind of a little clique, like a gang on, so that we wouldn't be punked. Because I was being punked by preppy guys in at Fremont for waxing the shit out of their friend Sean at a dance. This guy, I was with this beautiful, beautiful girl. We had hung out all day, and then we went to the dance, and she wanted to dance with me, wanted to be with me, and this guy Sean, he had a girlfriend, and she had friends, I guess, hanging all over him too. So he had a crowd of bitches and preppies and all these other fuckers and fucks all around him. So, anyways, for whatever reason, it was an accident in this dance. We brushed, we accidentally brushed up against each other. And I think I even told the guy, sorry, hey, whoa, sorry, man, you know, because it's real. And you're pushing your way through. It's a dance, pretty crowded or whatever. And this guy Sean goes, "Oh, you motherfucker," like that, and goes, boom, and fucking pushes and slams me down. And I landed on my ass and slid. So he just like humiliated me in front of like the whole entire school. But I didn't think humiliation. I thought, oh, this guy, he's gonna get his ass whooped right now. And I got up and I whooped his ass really good, and I got suspended for 3 days. Um, all them jocks and preps all seen me put a nice hurt locker on this kid who shoved me down from the dance, and fucking I think kind of ruined it for me. Helped helped me. I ruined my chances with the beautiful dame. They helped me ruin my chances because I blew it. Just because all that happened, I don't think that I would have lost the girl if it weren't really my dumb ass. So, anyways, but speaking of altercation and how things go down, so and Angela Corey got in the middle of this. She's a special prosecutor. She was hired by Rick Scott. Like I said, I helped campaign for Rick Scott. Um, I stayed just a little bit in contact with them if they need help and stuff. Um, or not, you know. If they don't call me, then that's okay too. But when this went down, okay, we remember all the timeline in the story and how this went down. So she's trying to take, and she's supposed to be in the Republican Party. So, anyways, I just want to tell you that the Stanford police, when I seen them do their investigation on the thing, because maybe it was such a serious thing or in the media like it was, they conducted an investigation. They determined that that Zimmerman was not guilty, that he stood his ground and had no other choice but to shoot this poor guy. One way or another, I don't care if somebody died, so it's a sad situation. And then to see all these people, Al Sharpton and everybody else making a racist thing out of it, and then making money off of it. So now we have Zimmerman making money off of it, and he's the biggest piece of shit in the world. But yet we all no nobody Nobody say shit about Al Sharpton or Trayvon Martin's mom or dad, using the guy's death and then lying to people too when they know that they're lying about the thing, you know, to make money off of it. So here we go. Zimmerman case. On March 22nd, 2012, Florida Governor Rick Scott appointed Angela Corey as special prosecutor to investigate the killing of Trayvon Martin by George Zimmerman. On the evening of February 26, 2012, in Sanford, Florida, George Zimmerman, 28, a 28-year-old neighborhood watch volunteer, armed with a 9mm Cal-Tech pistol, shot to death Trayvon Martin, an unarmed 17-year-old, in a gated community. A few hours after the killing, the Sanford Police Department determined that there was no probable cause to arrest George Zimmerman, who claimed that the act in self-defense. He acted in self-defense. Martin was returned to the home of his father's fiancee after purchasing a can of iced tea and a bag of Skittles candy at a local convenience store. Zimmerman told police that Martin was the aggressor, and photo of Zimmerman the night of the incident showed him with a bloody, broken nose and other injuries. But they doctored those, and as far as I'm concerned, Angela Corey helped them promote that even more. These lies, this bullshit. So this whole entire time, you're not you're not thinking, and nobody else is thinking. Well, are you putting yourself in George Zimmerman's shoes? What if you were attacked and confronted? Then it's going to come down to a way where it just it might somehow fall into circumstances where you were really innocent. You did defend yourself, but you don't have witnesses, or you lack certain this or that. And I've seen and felt personally conviction from a determined district attorney who was going to get a conviction if they could, one way or another, and they didn't care if you were innocent or not. So that's another position where I consider this woman to be in, is a position where now she's gonna fight this thing. Zimmerman's a cold-blooded killer, in her opinion. The police there did a professional job um, conducting the investigation. I saw them like when it was on TV and stuff, and seen their forensic vans and whatever else they used to determine that George Zimmerman acted in self-defense. That to me right there was solid enough. If the police would have come out and said Zimmerman murdered the guy, then they would have had found sufficient evidence, in my opinion, to convict the guy. But they did not, and for some reason, um, Rick Scott did this, made a special prosecutor out of this lady for whatever reason. The lefties probably talked them into doing it, and right now I'm looking at where I can sign a petition to remove Angela Corey altogether. Just remove her license, take her license away from her, because I think that she abused the situation and took it way too far, and really looked very kind of like she wasn't bordering incompetence. She was diving right into incompetence, having incompetency, or how you ever see that. Very, very unprofessional, and very unclassy. I just I thought she was a Democrat. So that's what the news flash is all about. Is that I did not know that. So anyhow, here we have it. Um, the decision by the Sanford Police Chief Bill Lee and Seminole County State Attorney Norm Wolfinger not to arrest and charge Zimmerman with a crime triggered outrage fueled by social media, including a petition on change.org calling for his prosecution. Following growing protests, wait, I have to stop right here. I have to tell you how far the Democrats have gone, and if these people are Republicans, how far they've gone to twist Republicans who should not be doing this kind of stuff ever. If that's what kind of constituents they go after, they're doing the wrong thing that they're expected to do. But anyways, change.org, I'm very familiar with it. I've signed a couple petitions. I put petitions up there. Got one up there right now that says I was convicted by a stalker because the police helped this criminally insane person come after me, and they helped him build a case against me like he was the authority cops himself, and he was a convicted mug, wife abuser. And when I looked on there the next day, I had only one signature. It was probably my own signature, and that's it. And these people want you to care about all their causes and all this stuff. And anyways, that change.org is a big piece of garbage because they have petitions on there like make make voter registration automatic. How the hell in a million years do you make in America voting registration mandatory so that they automatically get put into the Democrat Party for you? I mean, well, how are you going to automatically register somebody without asking them certain questions like, what do you prefer? Or, certain details like that. But that's what change.org has some fucking crazy fucking kooky fucking nut go on there and fucking do a petition for us to have automatic voter registration for when people turn 18. They don't get to talk to their parents or anybody else and decide for themselves who they want to do. People who go and register Democrat and then vote strictly Democrat are fruits. You're a bunch of fruits, as far as I'm concerned. Big time. Alright, following growing protests, including some 30,000 people in Sanford. They're idiots. All you 30,000 idiots. You're stupid. You guys are fucking dumb. You guys are some of the dumbest fucking morons I've ever seen, including Angela Corey, and I want to know where the petition is to sign for this bitch to be fucking kicked, be fucking booted. I don't like her. I don't want her. She's done. In my opinion, she's a Democrat. She's not a Republican. I'm shocked that she's in the Republican Party and they haven't voted her out of the Republican Party. What are they trying to say with this stuff? you know? And also, you got to remember Rick Scott. You know what they did? They held McCollum. McCollum had personal beef and hated you, and probably still now. It's been years, and Bill McCollum probably still isn't over losing Rick Scott. You know, and that's who you're dealing with. You're dealing with establishment like mafioso or something like that. I understand that they're not um, criminals or committing any crimes. That they're kind of like, I don't know. Um, I don't know. Um, they don't get in any trouble, but I tell you, they're doing certain things where they don't. they're just like the Democrats, but maybe opposite, where the Democrats only look out for certain interests or things. The Republicans have only been looking out for certain interests and things. And I stay a Republican, remain that way because of some of the certain things that they go after. Jobs, um, the economy is supposed to be, um, level. They could wipe the debt out tomorrow. I mean, one day basically. But I'm talking about the Republican Party and other responsible people in the government. But they choose not to. If you got the most responsible politicians in there now, they're not going to create very many jobs. They're not going to change very much of the debt and other things like that. Might stay the same instead of, well, at least you're not getting where with the Democrat you see them coming and lying about George Bush spending trillions of dollars, which is a lie, and just so that they could get the Democrat in there to do exactly what he said George Bush did, though. So, and I don't consider George Bush necessarily their establishment Rhino Republican exactly. You know, I think he tries to look out for everybody, and he has to deal with other politicians too. So at the same time, when George Bush was trying to be president, he was trying to look out for everybody. Sort of, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, 30,000 people in Sanford, Florida, as well as media coverage and engagement of the FBI, both Police Chief Bill Lee and State Attorney Norm Wolfinger resigned from the investigation, and State Attorney Corey took over. The case added to a national debate over racial profiling, gun control, institutional racism in law enforcement agencies, and the role of American Legislative Exchange Council in advocating for pro-gun laws like Florida Stand Your Ground. See, so I told you it was an attack on everybody's Second Amendment. So that's a big one there with me. You want to take my rights away from me, and they have done a really good job at making people feel insignificant or like what they have no role in the world. You know what I mean? Or oh, they're the government, they'll take care of it. Or they're the establishment, they've got this. Or in this case, it's, oh no, George Zimmerman went up and just shot that poor black kid, and he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't even touch Zimmerman, and those marks on Zimmerman put on himself. You know, I don't know where that witness is that said that he seen Zimmerman put those marks on himself. But even if it takes 25 years, we're gonna find that guy. So we can go ahead and convict George Zimmerman now. Angela Corey. We'll go ahead and convict George Zimmerman now. We'll find out all the evidence we need to prove that he's really guilty later on, okay? This is like this is like some kind of quirky shit that Angela Corey was. Is she? I'm sorry, Angela Corey, but you look like a fool. You really did. You look like a bubbling fool out there in the courtroom. I swear you did. I swear to God you did. And I'm looking for her to be disbarred. Looks like the links of doing the right thing. You have to go through the ropes of everything that all these other whack idiots do, like what they did on change.org. You have to go and do a petition to kick her out when all the people that could boot her and give her the boot in her ass are there. No, are quite very much aware of how she fumbled the ball on this. So he hired a district attorney, and I guess she had to play a district attorney role and had no other choice but to try to work with the Democrats and work with Al Sharpton and race baiting. Let's make it worse. We haven't come to a very unprecedented um, place in America with the racism here, and haven't really got to pretty much to the point where what black people and white people don't even look at each other like black and white anymore. They look at each other normally, but now, since over the last 8 years, Obama wants to come in and define how all these white people are so racist. You know, to him and whatever his stupid ideologies, it's all for politics. So when Obama gets creamed and he gets smeared or whatever happens to him, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna be sitting there laughing my ass off and say, ha ha ha, you stupid motherfucker, you didn't have our backs. You were totally against us. You're trying to take our gun rights away from us so that you can probably kill us. Probably have us get killed. I mean, why'd you decimate the military? Oliver North saying that the military needs to be rebuilt up again. You're kidding me. So that's basically what they did to it through the 70s, and Jimmy Carter probably had a big help to do before Reagan got in there, and they had the same. Reagan had the same debt basically when he started and rebuilt the military. So all these people who are talking about the military waste money and all this and that, they're protecting our ass out there, and they are not wasting money. Okay, if they've got things that they need to conduct and do, the missions to go on, they need our 135% support, 110% support. They don't, but they don't get that. Anyways, on April 11, 2012, Corey charged George Zimmerman with murder in the second degree. Murder in the second degree. So she's not saying murder one here. So I'd like to see her case on murder two, or whatever you say that. So I just wanted to say there's no consequence to her losing. If George Zimmerman would have lost, he would have lost everything. He would have went to prison forever. There's no telling what would have happened to him in prison. They could have gave him a death penalty, all for something that for him defending himself with a law, and Angela Corey treating the standard ground law like as if it's non-existent, like it doesn't even exist. Oh, you don't have that right. Oh, I know that it's a law, but just because that law is there doesn't mean you have the right to practice it. Well, you have to lay down and let them kick you so that we, the police, can come and we can scrape you off of the ground, and then we'll have to figure out who killed you. If we get a chance. If we get a chance to, we'll do it. So it sounds really quirky and stupid. So Corey held a a globally broadcast press conference to explain her decision. She stated, yeah, she couldn't wait to go out there and get get all of those bums up all those bums' ass. All those people protesting, the 30,000 people from Sanford and all these other bums. You guys are a bunch of fucking bums. Sitting there fucking waiting for something to happen against somebody who fucking was innocent. I hope to God each and every one of you motherfucking mugs, including Angela Corey, gets the fucking same treatment. You have something happen and you're scrutinized through the fucking mud, sitting there knowing in your mind the whole entire time that you're innocent, that you had to defend yourself, and all these people saying all this shit about you, fucking talking all their shit, don't fucking realize how fucking like kind of scary it is. It's kind of frightening to have somebody fucking they're gonna kill you, and all you can do is try to defend yourself one way or another. So I just want to tell you how morbid you guys really are to me. You can't really always explain it with words. You're just like frustrated, and they're acting like they're frustrated because this George Zimmerman guy killed this Martin kid just because he was black. So that's what Angela Corey is leaning on now, too. Also, so don't ask me why Rick Scott would ever question his police authorities in Sanford, anyways. If they came out and said that, you know, maybe the change.org and other things motivated, excuse me, motivated to do that. All right, so let's hear her explanation. I can tell you we did not come to this decision lightly. This case is like a lot of the difficult cases we have handled for years here in our courts, in our, in our, I'm sorry, in our circuit. And we made this decision in the same manner. Let me emphasize that we do not prosecute by public pressure or by petition. Okay? We prosecute based on the facts of any given case, as well as the laws of the state of Florida. Okay? When asked by a reporter the issue of race and justice in the case, Corey stated, those, those of us in law enforcement are committed to justice for every race, every gender, every person of any persuasion whatsoever. They are our victims. We only know one category as prosecutors, and that's a V. It's not a B. It's not a W. It's not an H. It's not, it's V. Okay? For victim. Okay? That's who we work tirelessly for. Okay? Retard. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. Handicapped people are not retards anymore. We don't call people with uh, mental disabilities or any kind of disabilities handicapped people retards. We call people like this dumb son of a bitch right here a fucking retard. You're a fucking retard, Corey. Corey's decision to judge him was praised by supporters of the justice for Trayvon Martin across the country. Natalie Jackson, a Martin family attorney, stated it's actually a very brave charge of Angela Conway, and it really shows that she conducted an independent, impartial at all, you know, and thorough investigation in this case. She could have easily charged this as a manslaughter to try to appease everyone, and she did. She did what prosecutors do. She charged it to the hilt. On on the other hand, Cohen was criticized as irresponsible and reckless. She's irresponsible and reckless. By Alan Dershowitz, a Harvard legal scholar and attorney who served on O.J. Simpson's defense team for filing a probable cause affidavit that he claimed was too thin for a second-degree murder charge. Dershowitz predicted that it would be thrown out by a judge. No, and it wasn't. So evidently, you had the same thing that you had though in Mike. case where I'm from in Roseburg, the judge was in on it too. They didn't care that I was stalked and victimized for 2 years. This guy beat me up and almost killed me and didn't stop whenever he did that. And I didn't go there to fight him necessarily. I went there to tell him and these people that, well, not him necessarily, but all the people that he had with him that were poking at me, spitting at me, calling me a narc because the Roseburg police put me in this guy's paper police report when he took a TV into a pawn store and sold it. Had his wife put it in her name and had four little 12 and 13-year-old was the age of the boys, four boys that age going and take the TV into the pawn store. The police come to me because I knew the people and had been a little bit involved with them at the place where they stole the stuff from. It was not my fault, anybody else's fault, but the owner's fault for not being at his house when he was robbed of. I'm not saying that I agree with them stealing from the guy. I'm just telling you how he was left vulnerable. It was not anybody's fault but that piece of garbage that lived there in Dillard. But the police thought I was some kind of piece of shit or something like that. And I'm an autistic person, autistic man. And now I see the fucking true hate. You know where I've been saying like that was a hate crime perpetrated against me? Now I actually see the real hate on why they made that a hate crime in particular. Is because it is extreme hate. You know, if you didn't want me to extreme hate people back, don't extreme hate me. You know what I mean? Because I've been extremely hated on. And I know exactly what it feels like to be put in a position like that where the judge, the district attorney, even your own attorney was in on it. But but Zimmerman was lucky that he got a good attorney or whatever. So Ellen Dershowitz said don't do it. But they had no other choice. They had to prosecute um, George Zimmerman for a murder that he didn't commit. He killed a guy, but he did not commit murder. He didn't commit manslaughter or any of that stuff. So they're demeaning, undermining, and they're trying to attack the stand your ground law here as if it's non-existent already, trying to treat it that way so that they can go ahead and kick it out the door. Just let that law, that's an old law. It don't mean nothing here. You know, if you kill somebody because you have to stand your ground, you're gonna go to jail. So you better get that in your in your mind right now that if you have any altercation with any of these people, black people can act as wild as they want. You know, they can do all this crazy shit. But I tell you what, I'm like, I don't know that I'm dirty or anything like that, but I'm kind of how I'd be a mug, like kind of like in a certain circumstances is I would maybe try to find another black person if they were going to just charge me with a hate crime for beating their black ass, for beating their black asses, their ass's ass. Um, I would probably try to find another black person. I guess I would have to pay them to mine to whip your ass if I couldn't do it because you. So this is what people do. They want to fight. They want to come and stalk you, and then whenever you whip their ass, then they call the police. And real quick, they want to charge you with an assault, and they assaulted you. Right? I know exactly what that feels. And during the time that this happened, I it was very surreal because I know that there's people here. I don't know if it's the weather or what. I think it's alcohol. These people all had to been on some kind of drug or alcohol in order to make them want to come and assault you. You know, what would make somebody just want to come up and just assault you for no reason? You know, Does he really? Did he really have a reason? Oh, because Zimmerman was on the phone talking to the police about him or something. Was he breaking into cars or what was Martin doing? You know. So maybe we'll never know. Maybe we'll never know the whole entire story of what Zimmerman was doing, trying to protect his property and whatever else, and these nasty motherfuckers coming out here and say it's some kind of racist race war bullshit or something. And who's leading the brunt to the racism and the race disputes? Al Sharpton, one of the pubes. So all right, so here we are. April 12, 2012, Seminole County Judge Mark Hur found the affidavit legally sufficient to establish probable cause and ordered Zimmerman to appear for his arraignment on May 29, 2012. And see, this is what they do. This is what they're doing to everybody in the world to attack her. So if I go and get a gun and I had to actually use it on somebody, they're going to do whatever they can to convict me. And helped by this piece of shit CNN. I hate you, CNN. I really do. I hate you and all them lefty pieces of shits. I like to see you burn. I like to see you burn in hell. Without actually being in hell with you. I don't want to be in hell with you. I just want to see you from afar or whatever, and talk to God about it. Oh yeah, there's people are in hell, God. And I'm like, yes, son, they are in hell. Let's have a just strict conversation. I'm trying to be a smart ass or anything about it. It's where I think y'all belong, especially if you're gonna say like this is what people like that do. They're like, oh, you can't use religion. You can't. Don't talk to me like that. But then if it benefits them to be like, oh well, the Bible says this or that, so they'll use the shit against you if they can. Talk about just some nasty motherfuckers, just nasty ass assholes. People that really deserve being confronted and punched and beat in their face, have their face rearranged. So CNN legal analyst Sonny Hostin stated, I suspect that there is some evidence we just don't know about because no prosecutor in a high profile case wants to walk into court and not be able to prove each and every count beyond a reasonable doubt. And evidently, she didn't have any of that, so she went ahead and went for this. Who is encouraging Angela Corey if it's not by petition or by public pressure? Who's encouraging it? You're just doing this because you just wake up every day just feeling it like it's just white people are so bad. They're just and this Mexican guy, crying out loud. It's bad when a white guy kills a black guy, but when a Mexican does it, holy shit, we gotta put him through the ringer. So some critics include Dortzwith believe that Corey, an elected official, treated her press conference as a sort of campaigning opportunity. Dumb. She should be voted out. So if they keep voting for her in, where are her constituents? A router article also indicates that some of Zimmerman's neighbors who claimed they saw signs of injury on Zimmerman the day after the shooting said they spoke to Sanford police and the FBI in their investigation, but did not recall speaking to the Office of Special Prosecutor Angela Corey. On the other hand, U.S. Attorney and legal analyst Kendall Coffey referred to Corey's presentation as masterful, and that she made a very compelling statement committed about her commitment to victims. So if you were scoring that press conference, I give it an A plus. So, um, um, let's see here. Yeah. So she didn't talk to um the witnesses, the other witnesses, because they were obviously witnesses for the defense, or they were Zimmerman's witnesses. They weren't the prosecutors or the state's witnesses. The state is gonna have to dig up one of these crazy motherfuckers that probably smoking crack or doing something wrong and illegal. They're doing something they're not supposed to be doing, and it's making them fucking stupid and crazy, and vote for a Democrat basically. And vote Democrat. That's what we're getting at. Where when we thought Angela was a Democrat for doing this. I've been a Republican um, now for 20 years, over 20 years. I'd say probably my whole life, but I was actually able to go and make it an official deal and go and register to vote as a Republican. When I turned 18, I had to wait. So, anyways, but I have been in the Republican Party my whole entire life, and I swear to God, I thought you were a liberal douche Democrat for the way that you attacked the Stand Ground law and the Second Amendment. Not just Florida's own personal Second Amendment type of law there, um, but the actual Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. So, in my case, if I'm better at with no hands at karate, um, to take away my Second Amendment, are you gonna cut my arms off? Say, say if my hands or my arms are as good as a gun, as somebody with a gun, and I go and I take those people out. Somebody comes for me though, and it's legal. I'm saying, and you're gonna try to, and it was a black guy or whatever, you want to prosecute me for racism and get reelected and all this other stuff. Phony, phony baloney. So I'm gonna hold this spot right here. Yeah, you're gonna cut my arms off. I'm gonna hold that spot and I want to look at resident Jacksonville, Florida. So, so that's why, because the people in Jacksonville, they had Alvin Brown or whatever as their uh, mayor. Talk about just stupid. I mean, talk about not caring who's in your, takes care of your business and stuff. I'm not saying that they are. I think that they're classless people by the way that they campaign and go about certain things like that. But I'll definitely say that I don't think that they're the right people that you need to trust for your city and different legislations and whatever else to watch your back. I think it sucks whenever you have a Democrat in anywhere, and then to have a Republican, somebody who's supposed to be in the Republican Party, completely act like they're a Democrat. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna tell three people today. If I can run into three people that I know, I'm gonna run into them and I'm gonna say, "Hey, did you know Angela Corey is a Republican? Is in the Republican Party?" They're gonna be shocked. They're gonna be shocked if they don't know. So anyway, we'll go back to the story. Hey, Reuters article also indicated that some of Zimmerman's neighbors who claim they saw signs of injuries. Zimmerman, the day after the shooting, said he spoke to Sanford police and the FBI, but didn't recall speaking to the special prosecutor committed to victims. Dershowitz has called for Corey to be disbarred. I'm with this guy completely. I don't know exactly what party this guy is in. I don't care. All I know is he's acting, I presume, as the more intellectual attorney. Somebody who you would probably need more money to hire if you were to have one certain case like this or whatever. Probably a high profile attorney sounding like it was on the OJ, had something to do with the OJ case or something. So he knows what he's talking about. If you're gonna get somebody an acquittal or whatever, it's not good to prosecute an innocent man ever. That's what I said in my case. I said, do you guys really believe, want me to believe that that's how you run the law and the law is ran these days? Is that you want me and everybody else out here to believe that you guys are treating people not victimizing people in certain cases, but you want, um, you would rather have an innocent man go to go to prison than to see a guilty man go free or something. You see that? That's the opposite of what it's supposed to be. You would rather see a guilty man go free than an innocent man be convicted, stand trial, be convicted, and be put away. An innocent guy. But that's what you're doing now. So you would rather see an innocent man get stuck and go to prison and suffer and have to be tormented even more. It's even more of a torment whenever you know that you had sufficient grounds for what you did, you know, and you know that they completely went way overboard, and for whatever reason they made it personal, and now you hate their guts over it because they want an innocent man convicted one way or another, and that's how they make sure that no damn guilty man gets out of here either, you know. So, anyways, that's how I feel about a lot of this shit. But it's not just here in this one particular case. But we're able to narrow in on this because it was a big profile case, and she put herself, Angela Corey, put herself in this position that she's in right now. We want to know where the petition is to sign to remove her. Anyways, Dershowitz has called for Corey to be disbarred. And in her position that she's an elected official, I don't know that she can be disbarred because in places like this, in Texas, I believe that they have elected judges and elected people and elected in different places like that. Like where I'm from in Roseburg had elected judges there. So if you elect somebody who's not been around and what you say, maybe the circuit courts and whatnot, and they're running to be elected. I've heard of them electing judges that only have high school diplomas. If they can make good judgments, why not? It only takes you to have keen judgment in order to be a good judge. But still, I see there being it's a allowing for there to be a little bit of um, be stumped intellectually with that. So, anyways, but I'm totally for that her being disbarred. Still, in response to his harsh criticism, Dershowitz claimed Corey called Harvard Law School and threatened to sue the institution, get me disciplined by the bar. sue the how does it say this? Threatened to sue the institution, get me disciplined by the bar, and made accusations of libel and slander, which is not. It's he's telling the truth. He's only telling you his legal analysis and input of his opinion, and he's gonna be sued for his fucking opinion and how he feels. So you can't even fucking say a fucking word, you know? Well, I can. I can say a fucking word. Try to sue me. You know? Let's see it. Let's see it, Angela. We will get you disbarred. We'll get you removed. So anyways, the same day that George Zimmerman trial was sent to the jury, Corey fired Ben Krobos, the information technology director for the state attorney's office. The former IT director claimed he was concerned the office did not turn over all discovery to the defense, which is illegal. That right there could get the case thrown out right there. It should have the case guy acquitted. It's a mistrial, but he gets acquitted for it. As far as I know, according to a hearing during the trial, the defense had the discovery items. During the trial, the defense had the discovery items. Whatever. On July 13th, 2013, the six women jury acquitted Zimmerman of second-degree murder and the lesser included offense of manslaughter. So no, I don't want to get into that. Let's see other cases. And Michael Dunn, was an idiot. Like how I said I was in the NRA before, or was took courses and stuff on handgun safety and stuff. I'm just telling you right now, I don't think people that are popping off like this Michael Dunn guy here should be having a gun, and consequently, because of what he did with the gun, he got himself put away for the rest of his life because he's an idiot. And he had money. And he let the thugs that he had a confrontation with, Black Thugs Matter or whatever, that he had a confrontation with, sue him for all his money. So while he's in prison, fucking living his new life in prison, he also has to deal with everything that he ever worked for or made fucking went to some fucking radical black fucking wannabe gangster people. So all I can tell you is I'm not for either side on the Dunn case, and believe he is right exactly where he belongs. Even if the black people were thugs or whatever they did, I see that there's a timeline there where they went somewhere, could have went to a hospital, should have stuck their fingers, whatever they had to do to stop their friend bleeding, and should have raced to the hospital. If not, go to a firehouse and have a paramedics take over from a fire department or something like that. But no, they went and they fucked around for about a half an hour. And as far as I'm concerned, those black thugs are just as guilty as Dunn in many ways for allowing their friend to die. So they're guilty of manslaughter in the Dunn case. But we were talking about but you didn't see the black people get charged. You only saw the white guy get charged. But that's okay, because he's a stupid. He was a stupid fucking dummy. Dumb idiot. Okay, here we are. Politics. Corey is an active member of the Republican Party of Duval County and the Republican Women's Club of Duval Federated. She served on the transition teams for both Governor Rick Scott and Attorney General Pam Bondi. Bondi endorsed Corey for state attorney and said Corey's leadership and friendship led her to where she is today. Bondi subsequently worked with Governor Scott to appoint Corey as special prosecutor on the Trayvon Martin case. Now, besides this, I'd have to say that I'm not disappointed with Pam Bondi or Rick Scott. I voted for them both. Um, but if I lived in Duval County, I would be pushing more for awareness of Angela Corey and her removal. So I hope that I basically, you know, um, covered everything that I could have. I don't know. I don't know what else to add to that. That I think that she came off like a Democrat to me, and to me that's like the enemy, like our enemy. Um, Basically, I look at it like how it was when the Civil War was taking place. The South could have just seceded from the North and just been their own country. It's a fact. But both sides were so bitter over politics and everything else that was going on at the time, probably having politicians make them look away from all the shit that really matters. What really matters is that we all take care of ourselves, that we take care of our sick, our old, our children. We make sure nobody tampers with our children. Let them have the innocence that they have remain until they get a certain age and then they lose their innocence on their own. And what we're doing is we're trying to, our bigger picture is not a Democrat or a Republican thing at all. It's a people thing, it's a community thing, but they want us all distracted, you know? They want to take us all away from what's more important. Oh, gay rights is more important than you having a job and you making sure that you don't lose your house or your car or any of your shit. You know, I'm serious. It's just the Democrats have gotten to so far pathetic with what they are going for. They want to bankrupt our country, and I'm looking at the Greece, the amount of debt that Greece was in when they finally bankrupted there, because whatever that magical number is, I think we have a magic number that we can look at here also, kind of as a determining number, the magic number when our system and thing is going to actually bankrupt like it did in Greece. You know, those people went and protested or whatever. I truly believe that if we flip out here, these politicians like Obama and whoever else, um, I don't know how they're gonna be protected unless they get on an immediate evacuated plane and get the hell out of here. But when that happens, they're gonna lose complete control over this place, and they're not going to be the boss or whatever. They're gonna be on the run. Is what they're gonna be. So don't ask me. The like I said, the new retarded. You know, like the new. They say like, oh, the new that's the 20 is the new 10 or something, or the 30 is the new 20, something like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying stupid stuff. But that's truly how I believe, like, the Civil War got started and stuff like that. So I truly look at certain people here and like they're not my countrymen, like they really truly are my enemy, like they're my enemies. And you know, Rick Scott helped um, elevate this person to that, and I do consider and believe that it is definitely from public pressure and those damn petitions. It's gotta be. But keep pushing for shit that doesn't even fucking matter at all. You know, like these guys are saying, like, um, uh, Black Lives Matters. They're trying to stop police abuse with black people. Well, I have no idea exactly about all that stuff. All I know is about where I come from and my own personal deals with the police, and that I believe that with the things that the police have done to me in particular, that they have to make you want to hate them. So it isn't a black issue or a white issue. It's a public issue. It's all of us have to figure out how to solve this thing. But these stupid knuckleheads want to sit there and just insist that they make all these allegations and charges and then protest or whatever, and they're not even protesting to accomplish anything positive. You know, what's Black Lives Matter's end goal? What, kill the police off? You know, that's what I was saying. I said to Faircon, because I take everything he says with a grain of salt. But I'd say probably at this point, I don't hate the guy. I just think it's ridiculous. Talking a lot of black shit. You know, whenever there's all a bunch of people on the planet or whatever. So I might have kind of really been bitter at Farrakhan for a while, but I listened to him maybe a little bit. But so whenever I do, we're able to leave these comments on these videos or whatever, and I say to him and other black people, and I say, hey, when they when you guys kill all of us off, um, who are you going to have be your police? You're going to have police one way or another. So, you know, you don't want yourself to calm down. And then, as an active protest, just be nice and just say, look, police, we don't want this confrontation anymore. We're all Americans. Can we all just get along and be serious about it and not be trying to make a joke, you know? Or trying to act all savvy when you're not, whenever what you're protesting for or doing is not leading up to accomplish nothing. Just a bunch of bitter, sorry, sauerkrauted, uh, sourpuss, race baiting, racist, whatever you want to be at that point. But you do not want everybody else, and you're allowed to let them distract us and everybody else. So many different liberal things had to be pushed right now, you know? And I think a lot of the things that had to been done because Obama had been challenged on every single one of them. He realized that there's going to be a point in time to come when people are going to realize that everything that he's done is bad and it's true whack radicalism is what it is. So when that point in time comes, we're going to have to start getting rid of the things that he did and erasing them and roll Obama back, and he has to know that. So what he's doing is he's trying to stay ahead of the timeline in history, so history won't repeat itself and end up coming back and kicking his butt for it later. He's trying to push all these persuasive ideological leftist agendas by because they've got a short window and amount of time to be able to get all that stuff in before their actions as politicians finally come back and affects everybody. So then all those people that were on their side eventually are gonna be like, well, I didn't vote for Obama. I didn't vote for Obama. No, but don't tell me some shit that you're not an idiot if you're sitting there believing anything Obama says and saying that he's got some kind of a point on the Second Amendment right and taking our gun rights or any of my or your rights away from us. For whatever reason you think he's got the right to do that, instead of help support, you know, real things that we need to have keep going and ensure, you know. But you guys are my enemies. I just wanted to let you know that another civil war or something else breaks out. I just wanted to let you know that I didn't come with my ideologies and my right conservative beliefs here and believe in patriotism, tis of the family, uh, certain doctrines that aren't brainwashing, you know, and then act like I'm the one that fucking started the shit. You think I'm the one that's gonna start the fucking killing? From everybody's gonna be fucking pinned against each other once again. It'll make all of these shootings and everything look like patty cake, like patty cake. And we have another civil war or a war type of revolution or something in this country. It'll be up to par with 2016 or 2017 or whatever timeline we're in with the weapons and stuff that we have. I mean, the first civil war that we had was probably one of the bloodiest messes that you ever heard of. Did millions die or did 1 million Americans die? I think about 1 million Americans or so. I'll have to go look it up again. I haven't studied the Civil War like that. I do recall studying the Civil War and being told the number or being revealed the number or whatever. But that's a lot of people. A lot of people. How many people do you think are gonna get killed in a new Civil War because of Obama? Because of Obama, all completely only because of Obama. How how many people, Americans, do you think are gonna die for that son of a bitch? For that son of a bitch ass and piece of shit. How many people have to die for your son of a bitch and ass, smelly, stinking ass piece of fucking foul shit, Obama? How many people have to die? How many people are gonna have to die for your views? For the way that you guys are trying to run the country. Not enough of you idiots who are causing all the problems. Who I can definitely surely tell you point out what is your end goal? What's the result of what you're doing? Is it going to be something positive? Are we going to be able to, in 10 years, look back and say, God damn, thank God we did that. You know, thank God. If we hadn't went out there and charged George Zimmerman, you know, with that fucking case, boy, God, we wouldn't be where we're at today. You know, fucking, you guys are fucking retarded. Angela Corey, I'm serious as a dead ass heart attack. Um, I will do whatever I can also to make it a personal mission for me to see you. Bye bye. To see you go. And I support you, George Zimmerman, all 100% completely. Like, um, if George Zimmerman um, wanted to hire me as a bodyguard, or however that would work, where I could be part of his force to protect him or whatever, mm, I would do it. But I got a family and shit I'm doing. I don't know. All I can say is I support the protection of George Zimmerman from all those stupid idiots out there who want to continue this thing like it's okay for another man to put their hands on another man. Okay, no, it's completely cool. You know, but this bastard had a gun that he had to take out and shoot some guy who bludgeoned his face, beat his face, broke his nose, broke Zimmerman's nose, strangulated him. choked him out. That's at the point when the gun came out. Zimmerman pulled the gun out. Didn't even pull the gun out before when all of the assault was even going on. He waited until he was on the ground and had um, Martin had his hands choking Zimmerman on the ground, and then he pulled his gun out, and then Martin went try to stop the gun. I guess that's how Martin would have tried to got the gun or whatever, and at that point it was too late. Zimmerman had already pulled it out and shot the poor bastard. That's right. I said he shot that poor little bastard. How would he do it? How would he do it if he had to go back again? Would he do it all over again? They put this guy through hell. Angela Corey put him through hell. She lost the case, and nothing happened to her. Consequently, you lose your life, you lose everything that you own, your whole life, everything. But yet they keep um, you know, their house and their whatever, everything that they own can have if they lose. But you have that much at stake. So we're not saying that attorneys should lose their bar privileges and should lose their law license if they lose the case. So this lady's actually able to go try to press a lawsuit against this attorney. Uh, I don't want to just say his name. We're gonna look his name up. Alan Dershowitz. So you're going to tell me that you're going to go and sue Alan Dershowitz for telling the truth when you lost the case and everything happened the way that he said, in particular, the facts in this case. What he said is not a lie, is absolute truth. But yet, Angela Corey can sue him through Harvard. Through Harvard. Because this guy he's the one talking shit. No, she's not the one that didn't lose the case and didn't try and press this ridiculous thing when all of us knew that she didn't have any special evidence or anything to indicate second degree murder, first degree murder, or manslaughter. It was a complete open and shut self defense case. They went through the whole entire thing when a lot of us could have told you it was self defense from the beginning, but you had to waste all of our time and money. How much money did that cost? Probably millions of dollars. And like I said, she cost the state of Florida millions of dollars, but yet she can sue Alan Dershowitz, uh, a glorified attorney. And I'm not trying to say that rudely. I'm saying you are a glorified law professor, intelligent man. You know what you're talking about. Yeah, me how I deal with law or no law was not, I don't think, the proper way on how you learn what law is. I didn't learn the law the same way that the other people did, but I'm telling you right now, I learned a little bit of the Constitution later on a um, by a sheriff's uh, type of society, um, constitutional sheriffs. So yeah, I don't really like a sheriff, but I am. I'm a sheriff whenever it comes to people's rights and the Constitution. I'm a strict advocate for that. So I don't know, this just mind boggles me. So if there's so much revealing, oh my god, I can't wait to tell some people about what I've discovered here.